Welcome to Diary of a Dreamer, where resilience unlocks your potential. I'm Tasha Eisinger, and each week I'll bring you powerful stories and practical insights from my own experiences and inspiring guests. Whether you're facing challenges or chasing dreams, this podcast is your go-to for motivation, building confidence, and practical tips for transforming obstacles into opportunities. Be sure to check out my website, tashaeisinger.com. Let's dive into today's episode and start turning your dreams into reality. Today, we are here with Ashlee Hess. I met her through Girls on the Run, which of course we'll talk about because it's such a great program. We both love it, right, Ashlee?
We absolutely do.
And Ashlee is also a girl mom and a pet lover, and she's an owner and master stylist, which is so funny because this is what my hair always looks like. I don't know if it's cringy to you. I'm very sorry.
It is not. It is okay.
At Splish Splash Hair Salon, which is at Sola Salons in Granger.
Yes, lots of S's.
That's a lot of S's. Splish Splash Salon, which is super cute. I like that name. So you were sharing with me at Girls on the Run a little bit about your story and this journey that you're on right now. And I was really inspired. And it's stories like what you were sharing with me that has made me want to do this podcast so that people have a platform to share and inspire. So can you share a little bit about like why you even started Girls on the Run, which I thought was really interesting in and of itself?
Okay. Well, I joined and decided to do Coach Girls on the Run because my youngest, who's 9, she needed some extra confidence building, and I also needed extra confidence building. I needed to learn some tools on how to, I don't know, we did that really cool 5-finger breathing exercise, which sometimes I need help grounding myself. And so all the tools we're teaching the girls, we're also teaching, us and giving us more power, our girl power.
I love it. And it's such good stuff. Like the curriculum and program is incredible. Like I think I'll want to continue coaching it because it is such a solid program.
Yep.
And when you were telling me all of this, I thought how cool that you understand as a mom, we set the example for our children. You were like, oh, she needs to do this, so I'm signing her up. You're like, no, I need to do it too. Because our girls are watching us.
Exactly. Everything we're doing, they're watching and they're remembering. So we got to set the good example now.
Yeah, exactly. And I know backtracking a little bit, like when did you start being a stylist and have your business and everything?
Okay. Long story. So I'm a 3rd-generation hairstylist. My grandparents owned the beauty school I went to.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So 19 and 20, I was at beauty school. And then I graduated, tried to do hair for a little bit, did it with, friends and family. And then I ended up at Martin Supermarkets for 11 years, managing a deli for the last 5 of that. New ownership, I wasn't happy anymore. It wasn't as fulfilling. So I quit. And then I lost my identity. Like I didn't know who I was without Martin's in that job that I was working 50 hours a week, So I went and started serving at Morris Park Country Club because I was like, oh, lots of good connections there. Got with the owner of Vogue Beauty School, tried to be a beauty school instructor. Wasn't for me. And then I just went back behind the chair at Hair Cuttery for a couple of months, and a suite opened up for me and my mom, who's been doing hair for 35 years. We now share a suite together and we do hair together.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So how many people just in your day-to-day lives are like, hey, Ashlee, can you just give me a little trim while we hang out? Like, does that happen very often?
No, but I set the boundary, there's no kitchen hair getting done. I pay for a suite and we will use the suite. I have 24/7 access, so it doesn't matter. Can do it anytime.
Job.
Yep.
Boundaries. So did you learn those boundaries because of watching your parents and grandparents? Or how did you?
I learned the boundaries, I would say, from my mom. just out by all her examples, you know, because we watch our mothers, she made sure to instill that, like, you know, if you don't want to do something, you don't have to. If you're not comfortable, you don't have to do it. It's okay to say no. Like
Oh,
I tell my girls, I tell them, you say no and I'll fight the battle for you.
good job, mama.
And we set boundaries. We don't let people cross them.
And no is a complete sentence.
Absolutely. Yes, it is.
That's a hard thing, I think, sometimes to learn, because in society, girls are supposed to behave a certain way, just like guys are supposed to behave a certain way. There's different
Right.
expectations. And I feel like for girls and women, saying no can be a really hard thing.
Yeah, it can be, but I mean, again, I built my confidence over the years, and it's just no is no, and that's that.
So what are some things that you've done to build your confidence over the years?
Actually, it's actually been in the last like 2 years, to be honest.
Good. Yeah.
So I started my business in March of 23, and I was just making it, you know, paying my bills, and that was that. And then in 24, I decided I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I'm going to go meet people. I'm going to do things I never do. So I joined a networking group. I knew absolutely nobody there. And being in that group, how much my life has changed in 1 year. It's just crazy. I can't even believe it sometimes. I now go up to strangers and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Ashlee." You know, like I'm just, I don't know, it's okay. You know, it's okay to go talk to people, and there's nothing to be nervous or shy about. And
Most
I just,
people are afraid to do it, so they're relieved if you're the one to initiate anyways.
right, exactly. Yeah. Yep. And I've also learned, you know, like asking questions in big groups. If I have the question, somebody else probably does. And if they're not brave enough to do it, I'm going to take one for the team and I'm just going to do it.
Yeah. And honestly, there have been some questions where I'm like, this is probably a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. And then I'm glad I asked, because I'm like, that was not the answer I was expecting,
Right. Yeah.
you know?
And I
It's-
always say, you know, you don't know unless you ask.
Yeah.
It's just,
So what caused you to want to get out of your comfort zone? Because it's so safe, right? It's a
yeah.
good little cozy place to be in that most people stay there for the rest of their lives. And it's
Right.
very sad to see. So, like, was there something that happened, or why did you all of a sudden have this epiphany?
Well, I wanted to grow my business, and I knew I needed to expand my market and my network and meet, you know, new people. There's only so much hair I can do in my close knit network. But I wanted to, you know, I was ready for a change in my life. I wanted to be surrounded by the business people. Um, Man, I don't know. They really just got me out of my comfort zone for sure. It's crazy, this group. I love them so much. Um,
So, was it watching
Back to the
them
question.
that was inspiring? Was it seeing how they did it so then you learned how to do it? Like, what was it about that group that helped you so much?
Well, everybody really like they look out for each other. If there's a question I have business wise, you know, they're like, oh, okay. I applied for a job and I needed some resume review. And, you know, one girl was like, yep, absolutely. Meet me tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We'll have coffee. We'll do your resume.
Oh,
So it's
so
the
wonderful.
support. It's the support, really.
Community is everything. And I feel that more strongly since becoming a mom. Like, we need a
Mhm.
community.
Yes, we do. And we need like our mom community, but we also have to remember we're women too. And I think we forget that a lot. So that also helps. Like I get to go be an adult woman and not mom all the time.
I love hearing you say that, because I know, like, when we moved to the area, my husband and I only knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't know anybody in the area. And I was trying to meet mom friends because that was the
Right.
natural fit, right? And I remember just being kind of feeling like I couldn't fit in because I'm also entrepreneurial.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, like,
Right.
right? Or a working mom, but there's a balance. Like, when you're an entrepreneurial mom, that's a
Mm.
different vibe, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. It's the schedules are crazy. It is nice that we, for the most part, get to own our own schedule. But I mean, there are things I miss because, well, I have to work and somebody has to pay bills. And, you know, if you want to do softball, I got to do a couple haircuts to pay for that. You know, it's just, but my girls know I like to think, you know, I like them seeing me work. I think it's a good example for them because it's 2025. Women are going to rule the world soon.
Yes. And not by squashing men, just simply by being who we are.
Exactly. Yep.
So I like to tease as an entrepreneur, I just pick and choose the 60 hours a week I work, right? You still have
Yeah,
to work.
right. Yeah. Sometimes it's 80, but
Yeah, as I say, we have flexibility within the schedule, but we still have to do the work, right?
absolutely. Yep.
So one of the things that you had shared recently is that when you were in your 20s, you thought you had it all figured out.
Yeah.
Which I love because, I mean, hello.
hmm
So what did you mean by that?
Well, in my 20s, I worked at Martin's. I had a full-time job. I had healthcare, vacation weeks. I was steady. I had a home, a car, the kids,
Oh, right.
everything. Yeah, everything was great, but, internally inside for me, it was like all that was what I was supposed to do.
Mm.
Have a career, be able to support my family, and then I don't know, I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I was tired of working for somebody else and it was exhausting. Um, but yeah, man, my 20s, I was in a relationship that wasn't great. And I think once that ended, that's when everything started clicking, which was about 3 months before my 30th birthday. So it was
Ooh.
like, yeah, it was like, okay, time to start a new life and change everything. But there's too much toxic and I didn't want my girls around, like I didn't want my daughters to think it was okay to cry every night,
Right.
and then once I got out of that, it was like, oh, you absolutely have nothing figured out. Here's to 30s. Let's do this.
Which it's amazing what we can do for our kids that sometimes we can't do for ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. I definitely get a lot of my courage and bravery because of the things I want them to see and to know they can do. I was just talking to my mom about, breaking those generational curses. And she told me, the other day she texted me, had me crying because she was like, I'm so proud of you. By the time the little girls are older, they won't have to put up with the stuff we've put up with because we've instilled the boundaries and we made it sure they know, like, we are a safe place for you to land. You come to us for anything. We got you back. We are 100% in your corner.
Um, that's really beautiful. And did your mom, was she the first one to want to break the generational issues and then you came in and you've like leveled up, or were you the one that said, this is it?
I would say she started it. Um, she got much better at it in about 45.
Yeah.
Um, and then, and then if once I hit 30, I was like, nope, no more. I'm breaking these curses. We're not doing this. Um, just want better for them. I don't want them to have to deal with the hardships and, you
Yeah.
know.
You know what I love about what you're saying too, Ashley, because I see you around your girls
Yeah.
and I know how much you love them and the
hmm
example that you're setting. And then, of course, this entrepreneurial spirit that you have,
Yep.
that sometimes what people think when they're trying to change generational trauma and curses is, well, you should be glad that I don't hit you the way my parents did. You're
Right.
lucky. I'm doing better than they did. And okay.
Right.
And still not acceptable. And what I see you doing is taking the steps that your mom took,
hmm
albeit a little bit later in life, but took those steps and you're multiplying it and like
Yeah.
getting it done in a big
Yep.
way. You're like ripping off the Band-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's right.
So what are some things that you've been doing consistently to help you stay on course?
Um, I've really narrowed down my work schedules because I do work behind the chair 3 days a week, but I also manage somebody else's company and properties up here in northern Indiana. So I keep to a strict schedule. It's really about the planner, to be honest, of how I keep track of everything.
I knew I
Um,
loved you.
yeah,
I love my planner.
I love it. Every Sunday I have to go through and make sure the phone and the count and the planner match,
Girl, You have
Um,
a soft spot in my heart now, knowing that we're like the
yeah.
same way that way.
Oh yeah, we gotta be. But with the girls, it's the girl sports definitely for them and their confidence building. Because Brooklyn, my 13-year-old, I'm telling you, is the bravest child I've ever met. She is so happy that she'll get up on a stage and sing with no background music. She'll give a speech. She'll do every sport she can. Um, but just having those team buildings, the community, the girls, the team, she's just, I don't know. She amazes me. I could never, at 13, I would never, ever even try out for a sport. And now I'm like, hey, let's go do sports. Like,
I love that. So yeah, what were you doing when you were 13?
when I was 13, see, I would have been in 7th grade. I wasn't a good child. I was sneaking out of the house because we could
Yeah.
in the middle of the night, walk into our friends' houses because we could then. I mean,
You'd go
I guess.
ballistic now if your child did that.
Yeah. Well, our kids are afraid to go out in the dark now.
I know. Yeah.
No. So, but I wasn't doing much. I was an AB student, just went to school. I didn't do any extracurriculars or anything. I just was at home with my friends.
Yeah.
So,
So I just think it's interesting, your daughter, I kind of wonder how much of what she is like is because she sees it in you,
right.
that you are more courageous than you realize
Hmm.
because of what you're doing to challenge yourself. And some of it can be, it's her personality, right? It's who
Right.
she
Yeah.
is, right? So not downplaying her strengths, but
Hmm.
also her 13-year-old childhood is different than your 13-year-old childhood.
Yeah. Yep.
So she has safety maybe in some ways that you didn't have, that
Yeah.
she can risk more, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Cause also 13 was, now that I'm thinking back about it, was a pretty big transition. My mom and stepdad were going through a divorce, and I did have 4 step siblings too, and then, they got divorced and it was poof, everybody was gone. Um, so that, I don't know if I want to call it an inconsistency, but just having all that happen, but like Brooke, my girls, they are stable.
Mhm.
That everybody that's in their lives is in their life. They got good
Yeah.
homes, both sides, mom and dad, and we co-parent really well. That also is a big thing for sure. But yeah, man, now that I think about it, yeah, she does have a lot more of the stability and yeah.
Yeah. And that's not to downplay like your mom or anything that she did and overcame to provide for you,
Absolutely.
right? Motherhood is hard.
So
Being
hard. Yeah.
oh, being a business owner is so hard. You just like to do hard things.
I do. I do. I like to do hard things.
But I think like because of your courage to say, "Hey, I want to really end these generational curses, take ownership and create big change." There's
Hmm.
so much more, like you said, consistency and stability for your children. And when we feel safer, at least at home, and
Yeah.
we have that, man, there's so many things that you can do out in the world because you have that
Absolutely.
safe place to come back to, you know?
Yep. Oh yeah.
So I just want you to take a second to like own that part of what you've done because it's so
Thank
inspiring.
you.
You're welcome. Sometimes we're so busy being in the trenches, we forget to take a moment and breathe and say, "Hey, I'm doing good." Right?
Yes, we do. In fact, I started every morning now. I tell myself 3 things I'm grateful for every day because I need to be reminded that I have a lot to be grateful every day.
Gratitude is everything. Like
Yes, it is.
truly, it rewires your brain and is so important to, I say rewire, I don't know the
Right.
actual term. Something like
But yeah,
neuroplasticity, something,
sure. Yeah.
something, some big fancy word, but
Yeah.
basically it helps you. And even writing it down like
Yep.
every
And
day.
sometimes I do wake up and I have to say, how some people like, oh, I have to go to work today. No, I get to go to work today. Like I get to, not everybody gets to go to work and I get
No.
to, and I get to provide. And do what I can for my family.
That is such a great perspective to have. I know when I was in high school, I took my grandma to the
Hmm.
grocery store when I was in high
Hmm.
school. And my grandma was born in 1915,
Oh, yeah.
and she lived through the Great Depression.
Right.
And she heard somebody grumbling at the grocery store about having a job and being at work. And she
Hmm.
muttered under her breath, and she didn't like talk badly about people or anything like that, really. And she
Right.
mumbled under her breath so I could hear her. They should be so grateful to have a job.
Yep. Yeah.
So, it's great if you can do a job that you love. Like, you get to do what you
Right.
love
Yeah.
now,
Yep.
which is cool. What are some of the things that have surprised you the most from transitioning to being an employee to being an entrepreneur? Because that's such a different perspective.
Yeah, it is. um, I do miss being an employee sometimes. I miss not
Oh,
having responsibility and someone just telling me what I need to do. Um, but then it's like I'm unemployable now. I can only work for myself now. I can't work for somebody else anymore. I don't know, it's just easier. I'm just in control of everything, which I like. I wear many, many hats, which is fine, but I'm up for the challenge. I like it.
of course you are. We've already established you like to do hard things. Like, you're
That's
totally up
right.
for the challenge.
Yep.
And I agree. I tease that I'm unemployable too. Could you imagine having to go to an interview and say, well, I want to make the decisions. I'll take full responsibility. Um,
Yep.
I want to set my hours. The job will get done really well, but I want to set my own hours. Like, the
Yeah.
list of things that we would have to say, not sounding entitled, but it's just such a different way of living.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think it's more stressful being an entrepreneur or an employee?
Um, I think an employee. I think because of the expectations. It might just be from my own
Yeah.
personal because at Martin's as a manager, let me tell you, they added on every single thing that they could add on to you and like hope that you were going to do it in the 40 hours allotted every week. So that was a lot. That was pretty stressful. I was even bringing work home. And now that I'm an entrepreneur and I can be like, oh, you know what? From 8 to 9, this is when I'm doing this. And that's that.
And isn't it funny too, when it's building your business, you also don't have a problem bringing your work home when you have to, because
Right.
you're like, it's building my business.
Yeah.
It's
This
just
is for
different.
me.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so interesting. Or like, obviously, you were saying that you wear many hats,
Hmm.
but when you go work a job, like, you are supposed to stay in your job description and
Right.
get paid
Supposed
for
to.
that job. Yeah, and get paid for
Yep.
that job description. But when you're an entrepreneur, you can go low pay, like you were saying, just make ends meet at the beginning.
Yep.
And you're fine with doing all of it because you're building for something,
Right. Yeah. It takes
right?
time. Gotta take the steps. Just is what it is.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit of time.
What kind of advice do you have for any stylists?
My advice for stylists, soon as you get out of beauty school, you find a salon to work in for a year to two and just learn. Absorb everything, watch every hairstylist, ask questions. Everybody does something different. But beauty school, you learn your basics. You have to continue your education. You have to go to classes. You have to do that. I cannot stress that enough.
That
Ev-
makes me so happy to hear you say that, because people also think with a college degree that they've arrived and they know everything. And it's like, no,
Right.
that's just the basics to get your foot in the door for an interview.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's just and everything changes so much, especially in the hair world. The trends, the cuts. I mean, granted, all the cuts are basically the same, just a different name, but people don't
That's
know
funny.
that. So you do have to still, I have to watch TikTok every once in a while just to keep up with some hair trends.
Yeah, you have to. Uh-huh, Ashley. Come on,
I
we
have
love
to.
TikTok.
Yeah.
I love
But yeah,
that.
that's my advice. Do your basics and then get out there and continue your education.
Do you
Learn.
do that like at conferences, or where do you learn and stay up to date? Other than, obviously, social media is a great way to stay up to
Right.
date on trends, but like actual techniques or new products and things like that.
Now There is like there was a hair show in Chicago 2 weeks ago. I went to that and there was a bunch of different classes. So like from business classes to cutting to coloring to how to retain clients, how to sell product, all those classes. So we did a bunch of those. My color line offers us classes.
Oh,
And
cool.
then because of social media, there's a lot more stylists out there that are not working for companies, but working for themselves and teaching classes now. Like my mom, how to be certified in extensions and like 5 different methods. Like it's crazy. So just being
That's
at a Sola too, we all use different hairlines. And so anytime there's a class, someone will be like, hey, there's a class on hair cutting from my color line. Do you want to come? Or, so just a good
that's really
community of
cool.
stylists.
That's really cool. So Sola is like the franchise and then you rent space within the franchise. Is that how it works?
Yep. Yep. It's
Okay.
all, we all have private suites. So it's kind of weird when you walk in because there's no front receptionist or anything like that. You just walk in and you're in a hall full of doors. It's all glass sliding doors, so you can see through them, but
It's not like creepy.
yeah, just a little bit. But everyone's always surprised. So basically, you own your own business and you just rent from Sola.
That's a great balance too in entrepreneurship
Mm-hmm.
and transitioning from a stylist working for somebody else. Because even though there's pressure, you got to pay your rent. It's not like you
Right.
own the whole building, which would be like a
Yeah.
whole other level of pressure.
Yeah. We always say, maybe I'll word it right. You're in business for yourself, but you're not alone at Sola.
Yeah, I like that. When I did network marketing, we used to say you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. The
Yeah.
same
Yep.
concept, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I never know how to handle this. You need to
Mm-hmm.
help me. How
Yeah.
much are you supposed to tip?
Um, I would
Because
say
I
a
used to
good
be a
50.
waitress, so tipping matters.
Yeah.
And
I
there's
mean,
been
yes and
times where I'm like,
no.
yeah, okay.
I would say more at a chain salon, tipping matters more there because they're on commission.
Oh,
But like me, if somebody tips me, it's always greatly appreciated, but never expected. Um, there are a couple girls that don't accept tips at all. The prices just rolled into their prices. I would say a 15 or 20%. It is nice. It's nice to get an extra tip, but it's
I
never
mean, you're not
expected.
stupid. You're not going to turn it away.
Right, yeah, exactly. But I definitely say the chain ones helps them a lot.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Hmm.
Because it's always like American culture with tipping is so convoluted that I'm
Yes.
always like, now the kiosks, they ask you to tip. I'm like, I didn't used to tip
Right.
for this thing because I didn't think we were supposed to. And now I feel
Right.
pressure and it's just very weird.
I always say, servers absolutely because they're making, $2 to $3 an hour and they are surviving on their tips.
Yeah.
But like at a salon, so when I worked at Hair Cuttery, it was minimum wage or 40% commission. Well, minimum wage in Indiana is 7.25 an hour.
Okay.
So like at those chain salons, but now some of my services I'm making 25 to $50 an hour. So I don't expect it because I just, yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know because I never
Mhm.
want to disrespect somebody either. Or like you said, if it's
Right.
a person's means for survival,
Right.
like you want to make sure that you're being mindful of that. So that was good. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
The
You're welcome.
pressure is off now that I know the
Yeah.
answer.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So what advice do you have for anybody who is listening to your story thinking, all right, I know I want to change, but I
Hmm.
don't know how?
You have to put in the hard work. You have to be boots on the ground and you have to be working hard because nothing gets handed to you. That's not how it is anymore. There's a big entitlement problem in this world, and I'm not here for it. You have to work for everything. Being a hairstylist, my first year, I posted on social media, hoping that would work. It didn't. But as soon as I got belly to belly networking with people, building my relationships, everything changed. It's the hard
Oh,
work.
That is such great advice.
Mhm.
And typically, when I meet people, I can tell if they're actually the real deal based on their answers because I've met enough people who are truly successful
Yep.
and people who are posers, and you are definitely the real deal because
Yeah.
that is the absolute truth. You got to do the work.
Yes, you have to. It's not going to get handed to you. I mean, I've had people make comments to me because I do share a salon suite with my mom, and people have made the assumption that she pays for all of it and I just work there. I pay my own rent, I pay for all my own supplies, I bring my own clients in. I do get referrals from her, but I do all the hard work. She's there as my sounding board, she gives me advice, but that's it.
Yeah, she's a resource
Yeah,
and a
yep,
trusted
she's a
resource,
resource. Yep.
right? And a
Mhm.
mentor,
Absolutely. Yep.
which is such a gift that she's also your mom, but also like
Yeah.
you can network and find mentors too. Like your mom's not isolated, only helping you. Like I'm sure she would help
Right.
so many
Oh,
people.
she helps any of the girls can come to her for advice. She also taught a lot of the hairdressers in the
Oh,
area too. So she's a mentor for a lot of us.
I love that. And it is interesting, I think people, when they see somebody starting to have some success, oh, like, oh, look at Ashlee. She's got her
Oh
own little
yeah.
space, like she's getting better than everybody else, right?
Yep.
They, in their own mind, start making excuses as to why you're able to do it and they're not.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yep.
So thank you
Um,
for dispelling that.
yeah. I will say, and it's true what they say, strangers will support your business before your friends will. Your friends will come on about 2 to 3 years later and see, oh, yep, she's doing it.
Isn't that so interesting? Because I
Mhm.
notice that a lot in network marketing, or like I have like that circle of supporters with
Mhm.
my business now. But you're right. You would think that your friends who love you dearly would be shouting it from the rooftops of what you do.
Yep.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Because I also I want to bring everybody with me. Everyone's coming to the top with me, but I won't drag you. You can come with, but I'm not dragging you.
Girl,
I
you're
know.
so right. You can't.
No. Nope. So, yeah, I mean, I've lost some friendships over this business and not over the business, but cuz my life is just busier and I make the time for people who are making the time for me, who are putting into it. Like I had lunch scheduled with somebody and they overslept and no showed. And I canceled my day for that, and I had
Oh,
to have a conversation with them and tell them, like, hey, you can't do that. That's not how you treat people. You can't just not show up for a lunch, like we all have
absolutely.
lives. We're all busy.
One, had you had other times with that person, or is this like a first exposure?
Um, Actually, I've known him for a while. We used to work together and tried to do like a lunch date once a month. And um, I haven't heard from her since because
Yeah.
I keep my boundaries in place, and some people don't like that. But sometimes it just is what it is.
One,
The dog.
oh, I feel like boundaries reveal the people who actually love you and care about you and want what's
Hmm.
best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if they respect you enough to respect your boundaries, yeah, they love you.
Yeah, because you're not saying anything that's like rigid. There's
Right. Yeah.
rigid boundaries where it's impossible to have a relationship with somebody. Like you're talking about respect. And I love that
Hmm.
we kind of have come full circle. We started with boundaries and now
Yeah.
we're ending.
And now we're back. Yep.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm really inspired by you, Ashlee. I hope
Thank you.
that people in the area go check you out.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I am due for a haircut, as you can tell, and so it will be scheduled with you for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course, of course. So, yeah, I'll make sure all the links and stuff are in the show notes and everything. But I really
Okay,
appreciate your time
cool.
because I
Yeah.
know that
Thank you.
time is so limited, especially doing everything you're doing. And so I hope
Mhm.
people are inspired. How can people get in touch with you?
I have a website. And we will put it in the description or link or whatever, because it is glossgenius.ashleehess.com. But, my name is not spelled like the regular Ashlee. It's Ashlee, so some people can't find me very easy.
Oh my goodness, I think I've misspelled your name.
Oh, well, now
In my
you know.
phone. I need to change it in my phone.
Yeah, Ashlee with 2 E's instead of 1. Yeah.
Well, I will fix that in my phone after this interview.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's important to spell people's names correctly. Here again, it's a sign of respect.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Oh my goodness. Well, I hope people get in touch with you, even if it's for inspiration. And, if I'm sure you're somebody who's always happy to help for people who are wanting to create change and do better with their life.
I love having coffee and meeting new people. I love it. It's so much fun.
People are interesting.
They are. It's a good time. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for your time, Ashlee. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Diary of a Dreamer. I hope you found the stories and tips shared today to be a source of motivation and strength. Remember, every challenge you face is a chance to grow and move closer to your dreams. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with anyone who could use a boost of encouragement. Please check out my website, TashaIsinger.com.